At least if we're going to live in the most garbage timeline, we have distractions like the NBA, right? I mean, at least we can enjoy sports together until they decide to politicize everything about sports and make them stupid. So I'm not saying you can't enjoy basketball. You can. But it does take a little bit of overlooking when they decide that social justice warrior messaging is going to be just poured into, up to the brim, into the NBA, into the MLB, into the NFL. Apparently the end zones in the NFL are going to have things like equality and stand for justice like on the end zones now. It's great. I mean, honestly, what they really should just do is they should just label, these are all in-kind contributions to the Democratic Party, because let's be frank about this. All of the sloganeering here is designed to back up a particular narrative about America is systemically racist that the Democratic Party preaches. Right? We are engaged right now in, again, what linguists call semantic overload. There's nothing wrong with the principle of equality before the law, right? That is a very good principle. There's nothing wrong with the principle of peace, right? All of these things are good. But let's be real about this. When people say Black Lives Matter and they put it on the side of a basketball court, what they do not mean is that Black Lives Matter the same as white lives and all lives matter. That's not what they mean. They do not, because that's eminently obvious. What they mean is that America is systemically racist, right? That is the semantic overload point. Because if you say to them, I agree, Black Lives Matter, and also America is not systemically racist, then they will respond and say, then you don't agree Black Lives Matter, which means that you are just using a semantically overloaded term so that you can avoid saying what you actually mean, because what you actually mean is a lot more unpopular than what you're saying. Right? That is what is happening right now. Every single person agrees in America that Black Lives Matter, because you'd be an awful human being not to agree that Black Lives Matter. But that is not what Black Lives Matter advocates mean when they say Black Lives Matter. What they actually mean is that police are evil and that America is systemically racist and that all inequality is a result of systematic inequity. Right? That's what they actually mean. So the NBA has decided to go full bore on this. So last night they had the relaunched NBA inside the bubble, and all the players knelt for the national anthem. So now everybody's Kaepernicking. Because obviously America's a terrible, horrible place where you get to earn millions of dollars for playing a child's game in front of adoring audiences. And Americans care so little about Black lives that they are more than happy to watch basketball players paid millions of dollars to dunk a basketball. Very, very cruel country this is. Deeply cruel, terrible country in which Americans obviously don't agree that Black Lives Matter, which is why we spend tens of millions of dollars watching games and patronizing products that are advertised by these spokespeople. And the American flag is responsible. The American flag is bad. For the revisionist historians who suggest that kneeling for the national anthem, by the way, is a sign of respect for the flag, it was never meant as a sign of respect for the flag. It was meant as a sign of disrespect for the flag. It was meant that way. It was meant originally as a signifier that America is systemically racist and the flag represents that systemic racism. Again, you can do, at least the MLB knelt before the national anthem. But kneeling for the national anthem is saying that the national anthem is not true and that the flag is not true. So the NBA led off with this, which of course makes it harder to watch the game because, again, no one is watching basketball to hear the social justice warrior messaging, but they decided to get even more obvious about it. They did this routine where they basically went full XFL. If you remember the XFL, people were putting names on their jerseys like He Hate Me. There's nicknames on their jersey. He Hate Me was the most famous one. Well, yesterday, the NBA had players wearing words on their jerseys, like slogans on their jerseys. And it seems to me they should just put Biden 2020 on their jerseys if this is what they really think, or America sucks on their jerseys if that's what they really think. Instead, you had the bizarre picture of players throwing up alley-oops. Well, like, if you don't know the players, you literally have no idea who is playing right now. Like, the purpose of the name on the back of the jersey used to be to identify the players. So instead, you had equality throwing an alley-oop for peace. I'm not kidding. Meta World Peace was really ahead of his time. World Be Free, a man ahead of his time. Here is actually, that's actually what happened. I mean, I don't even know how the announcers announced this. And they know the names of the players, but if you didn't, right, if you're just watching this thing, it's like, and coming up the court is equality. Here comes equality, running up the court, throws up an alley-oop to peace. And there's peace slamming it home over say their names. That's literally how it looked yesterday.
That would be the sound that you'd hear down under. Strong finish. Zion Williamson on a special delivery.
Equality throwing it up to Peace,
You
who's also
cannot
ironically
front the
dunking over
post
Peace.
with the
So Peace
ball
got
up top.
posterized
You've
right
gotta
here. Peace
wait
got
till
dunked
it
on.
gets to the wing. Zion just spins out.
Exciting stuff. So Equality throws it up for Peace. Peace dunks over Peace. Good stuff, everybody. Yeah. I noticed Free Hong Kong was benched. So Stop the NBA's Chinese Talent Sweatshop. That person never made it to the court, so that's too bad. Charles Barkley got a lot of flack yesterday because Charles Barkley, who may be the only sane person left dealing with the NBA, he said, by the way, if you don't kneel, you're not a bad person. And everybody's like, yes, you are. You're a bad person if you don't kneel. We've reached the point where that which is not barred is mandatory, where it's not that. Remember, we started off with like, should Colin Kaepernick be allowed to kneel? And most people are like, I think it's a bad idea, but like, I don't think he should be banned from kneeling. Like, I think it's kind of a garbagey thing to do, but I don't think he should be banned. And now it's mandatory. You're a bad person who doesn't care about black people if you don't kneel for the national anthem. A national anthem that represents a country that has seen more racial progress than any other country in human history, and in which the richest black people on planet Earth live by average income. Okay, but apparently Charles Barkley's a bad guy for saying that if you don't kneel, you're not a bad person. Like, this is how far we have come.
My thing is, listen, the national anthem means different things to different people. I'm glad these guys are all unified, but if people don't kneel, they're not a bad person. I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm glad they had unity, but if we have a guy who doesn't want to kneel because the anthem means something to him, he should not.
Okay, and everybody came down on Barkley. How dare he say that? He's not woke enough, Charles Barkley. Yeah, all right. Well, this is the way the culture is moving. By the way, speaking of the way the culture is moving, I have to read you the best headline of the day. It is from CNN on a slightly different topic. You ready for this headline from CNN? This is spectacular. They brought it out this morning. Quote, individuals with the cervix are now recommended to start cervical cancer screenings at 25 and continue through age 65 with HPV testing every 5 years as the preferred method of testing, according to a new guideline released by the American Cancer Society. You notice something wrong with that particular headline? Individuals with a cervix are recommended to start cervical cancer screenings. You know what we call individuals with the cervix in the real world? We call them women. Remember that time when CNN said an apple is not a banana is not an apple? Now apparently a banana can have an apple, which is really exciting stuff. Individuals with a cervix. Do you, sir, take this individual with a cervix to be your lawfully wedded wife? How romantic. Wokeness has proceeded so far that women have been completely erased. They don't even exist anymore. Individuals with a cervix. Individuals with a cervix. Just fantastic, fantastic stuff. Now, here's the thing. There will be a backlash to this, and the backlash, I think, will come in the form of reasonable people just saying, you know what, no. I'm not kneeling for the national anthem, nor do I frankly feel like patronizing basketball games where I'm lectured about how America is systemically racist by people who are earning millions and millions of dollars to call America systemically racist. Honestly, the best thing that happened yesterday, is maybe the only good thing that happened yesterday, was Trader Joe's said, you know what, we're not changing our labels. Remember, a few days ago, there's a big story about people petitioning saying that Trader Jose's, like guacamole, was racist. Well, Trader Joe's put out a statement, and they're like, nope. They said a few weeks ago, an online petition was launched calling on us to, quote, remove racist packaging from our products. Following were inaccurate reports that the petition prompted us to take action. We want to be clear. We disagree that any of these labels are racist. We do not make decisions based on petitions. Thank you. It's about damn time somebody said this. They said we make decisions based on what customers purchased, as well as the feedback we receive from our customers and crew members. If we feel there is need for change, we do not hesitate to take action. Decades ago, our buying team started using product names like Trader Giotto's, Trader Jose's, Trader Ming's, etc. We thought then, and still do, that this naming of products could be fun and show appreciation for other cultures. For example, we named our Mexican beer Trader Jose Premium. And a couple guacamole products are called Avocado's Number, in a kitschy reference to a mathematical theory. These products have been really popular with our customers, including some budding mathematicians. Recently, we have heard from many customers reaffirming these name variations are largely viewed in exactly the way they were intended, as an attempt to have fun with our product marketing. We will continue our ongoing evaluation, and those products that resonate with our customers and sell well will remain on our shelves. Good for Trader Joe's. Guess what? There's not going to be an end to this. There really is not. Because the social justice warrior insanity, it doesn't end at any point. There's no limiting principle to it, which is why you're seeing, and this one I love, you're seeing Beyonce come under fire. There's a new documentary. It's not really a documentary. It's sort of like a movie that is called Black is King for Disney Plus that is produced by Beyonce. Now, first of all, let me just point out that if Disney Plus launched a program called White is King, it would be the end of the world, right? It would be the end of the world. They launch a program called Black is King, and everybody's like, okay, totally fine. In any case, Black is King is based on The Lion King, which is, I mean, first of all, isn't that cultural appropriation? Like, it's based on Lion King. The music for Lion King was originally written by two white guys, Elton John and Tim Rice. And the story of Lion King is based on William Shakespeare's Hamlet, who happened to be a white guy. So seems like a little cultural appropriation. Now Beyonce's under a little bit of fire because it turns out that Beyonce is not in fact African. And for her to culturally appropriate African culture is sort of a problem for some people on the left. Not kidding. There are articles on this today. People defending Beyonce saying she's allowed to do it because she's disconnected from her history, but her disconnection from her own history is because of white intervention over slavery and all this. The fact that it's even a controversy is bizarre. She's paying tribute to Africa. There's nothing wrong with that. But the fact that it's a controversy shows how stupid everything is. I hope you enjoyed that clip from The Ben Shapiro Show. If you did, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you stay up to date on all of our future content.